Hello viewers, in this unit of the course we shall discuss about the anatomy or the structures which are found internally, and first of all we shall see the digestive system, then excretory system and then reproductive system. Details of each system we will see what are the different parts which makes the system. Starting from the first, that is the digestive system. As we know, the digestion is a process in which the food is broken down in such a form that it can be absorbed easily by the system, and the system, that is the digestive system, is made of a tube-like structure which is known as alimentary canal, and this alimentary canal is divided into three parts: foregut or stomodium, midgut or mesenteron or ventriculus, and third part is hindgut, which is also known as proctodium. Now, the foregut, which is the anterior-most part of the alimentary canal, it starts from the mouth cavity and ends with the gizzard. Foregut, first part is pharynx, second is esophagus, third is crop, and fourth is gizzard. Pharynx and esophagus, they are also a straight narrow part of the foregut, whereas crop, which is a sac-like structure and serve the purpose of storage of food material. Gizzard, which is also called proventriculus, it is the terminal part, and bears teeth on the inner surface lining of the lumen, and this part helps for grinding the food material. It is attached to the midgut by a valve which is known as cardiac valve or stomodial valve. Internally, the foregut consists of different layers: antenna, which is the innermost layer of the chitin, epithelial layer, basement membrane. Besides this, the longitudinal muscles are present and circular muscles are also there. And one important layer of the foregut is peritoneal membrane, which is almost a structureless layer. Coming to the midgut or the middle part of the alimentary canal, it is a straight tube-like structure and it is connected with the hindgut. However, the midgut consists of peritrophic membrane and epithelial cells. Peritrophic membrane, it is an important layer or membrane which protects tender epithelial cells from direct contact of the food particles, and it is absent in sap sucking insects or the insects which feeds on the plant cell sap. It is absent in the plant bugs. This is the one example, but there are few exceptions also. Similarly, the epithelial cells, they are made up of 3 types of cells: columnar cells, regenerative cells and goblet cells. Regenerative cells are very important because they renew destroyed and dead epithelial cells. Besides this, 2 membrane, peritrophic membrane and entering epithelial cells, basement membrane is also there. Circular muscles are there, longitudinal muscles are there and peritoneal membranes is also present, like the foregut. The hindgut, which is the third part of the alimentary canal, and it is more permeable than the foregut. It means the material can come out from one part to the other. Hindgut is divided into 3 parts: ileum, which is a small tube-like structure; colon, it is the middle part between the ileum and the rectum, and the rectum is the hinder part of the hindgut, and this is very important in case of insect because the surplus water has to be absorbed by the insect, and for that the nature has provided 6 rectal papillae or 6 sort of pad like structures which are present in the rectum, and they help in the reabsorption of the water, salts from the fecal matter or the waste products which is going to be out from the alimentary canal through the anus. This is a diagram showing the different parts of the alimentary canal, that is the foregut, midgut and the hindgut. So, here you can see the different parts of the alimentary canal. Another important system which is playing an important role in the insect body is the excretory system, and the excretory products, which includes the urea, uric acids and many salts, they have to be drawn out from the body, and that function is done by the excretory system. And in case of insects, the important excretory organs or the principal excretory organs, they are the Malpighian tubules. Besides the Malpighian tubules, excretion is also done by the fat bodies, alimentary canal and labial glands. Now, the Malpighian tubules, they are long tubular structures open proximally into the intestine, and they are present at the junction of the midgut and the hindgut. The number varies from insect to insect, but they are present in the multiple of 2. Say for example, in case of Hemiptera, the number of Malpighian tubule is 2. But if we talk about the Thysanoptera, that is the thrips, then they are also 2 in number. But with regards to the Coleopteran, the number is 4 to 6. So, the number varies. But if we talk about the aphids and columbolans, the Malpighian tubules are completely absent. So, this is the structure of the Malpighian tubule. You can see the enlarged view of the Malpighian tubules. These Malpighian tubules, they help in the excretion of the nitrogenous waste products, which is written on the upper side of this slide, amino acids and sugars and salts, they are all excreted through the Malpighian tubules. Now, if we talk about the female reproductive system, then it consists of a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviduct, then a median oviduct, spermathecae. Spermathecae are the organs in the female system which are used for storing the sperms at the time of copulation. Besides these structures, the genital chamber or vagina is also a part of the female reproductive system, and this system is assisted by a pair of accessory glands. Now, ovaries, they are 2 in number, and they are attached to the tergum of the body or the dorsal side of the body with a filamentous structure which is known as ligaments, and the function of the ovaries which are produced in the egg tubes which are known as ovarioles. Now, both ovaries, they are united posteriorly by the oviducts, which may be lateral or median oviduct, and these oviducts, they unite at a common place in the form of a common oviduct, and this common oviduct, it leads posteriorly and opens in the vagina of the female insect, which is surrounded by a sac-like structure or a pouch-like structure which is known as spermatheca. Now, vagina and spermathecae and oviduct, they are all covered by the presence of the accessory glands, which are also known as collateral glands, and this is very important. The secretion of this gland is very important because it produces a sticky substance which is useful for the attachment of egg to the substrate or to the place on which they are laid. Similarly, the male reproductive system consists of a pair of testes, a pair of vas deferens tube-like structures, seminal vesicles. It is just like a common oviduct, seminal vesicles, which further deepens near the male genital pore in the form of ejaculatory duct, which is surrounded by the edegus or the penis, and it is also supported by the presence of the accessory glands. Now, in case of the testes, they mainly function for the production of the sperms, and these sperms, they are produced in the testicular follicles or testicular tubes. However, the posterior part of the testes is attached to the tube-like structure which is known as vas deferens, and both these vas deferens or the tubes, they further go downward and open into an ejaculatory duct, and ejaculatory duct, it opens further deepen into the male genital atrium, which is surrounded by the presence of the edegus or the penis. Now, a pair of accessory glands is also present. However, their number may be 3 in some cases, and the opening of these glands is very close to the ejaculatory duct, and the secretion of this gland helps in keeping the sperms motile for a longer time. If we look into the diagram which is depicted on your screen with regard to the female reproductive system, female reproductive system is composed of a pair of ovaries, and ovaries are meant for the production of the egg or the ovum or unfertilized egg. Now, these ovaries, they are attached to the dorsal side of the body with the help of a thread-like structure which arises from both ovaries, and it unites at a common place in the form of median ligament, which is attached to the dorsal side of the body. Now, inside each ovary, the egg tubes are present, which are technically known as ovules, in which the eggs are produced. Now, the characteristic feature of these ovules is that the matured eggs, they are present on the posterior side of the tube, whereas the developing eggs, they are present on the anterior side of the ovules. It means the matured eggs, they will come out first, and then other eggs which are developing inside the ovules, they will come after one by one. Now, the posterior part of the ovary opens into very fine tubes which is known as oviduct, and both these tubes, they unite at a common place in the form of common oviduct, where actual fertilization takes place. Now, this common oviduct, it projects downward and opens near the vagina of the female, but at this place there is present a pair of spermaticae, and the spermaticae is meant for storing the sperms which have come inside the body of the female through the vagina at the time of copulation. Now, it is not necessary that fertilization takes place at the just after the copulation, because unless the eggs are not matured, they will not come out into the common oviduct and fertilization will not take place. For that, the nature has provided a pair of spermaticae, and out of a pair, the left side spermaticae is smaller, whereas the right side spermaticae is bigger in size, and it is used for storing the sperms. And when the eggs, they come out from the ovary, then they met with a secretion of the accessory glands, and this secretion helps the fertilized egg to deposit at the preferred place, and that preferred place of different species differ. You must have seen that some eggs, they are laid on the surface of the leaves, some they are laid on the surface of the fruits or leaves, but some species of the insects, they lay eggs in the soil also. So, all these structure, they constitute the female reproductive system. Now, if you see the male reproductive system in this diagram, you can see a pair of testes. Inside the testes is made up of a tubular structure like the ovaries. Here the testicular follicles are present. There ovariones are present, but in testes, testicular follicles are present in which the sperms are produced. Like the testicular follicles, in case of females, we find ovarioles in which the eggs are produced. Now, the posterior part of the testis, it opens into fine tube-like structure which is known as vas deferens, and both these vas deferens, they unite in the form of ejaculatory duct. And this ejaculatory duct, it projects downward and opens at the male genital aperture, which is surrounded by the external genitalia of the male, and in which the main copulatory organ adigus is also present. So, all the male genital aperture, it is surrounded by the opening of the ejaculatory duct and the adigus and the male genital structure itself. So, this structure, male reproductive system, is also supported by the accessory glands, and the secretion of the accessory gland is necessary because it gives a motility to the sperms. To keep the sperms alive for a longer time, the secretion of the accessory gland is very much necessary. In this unit, we had discussed about three important systems present in the insect body. The first system is the digestive system, which is mainly composed of the alimentary canal. So, we have seen the different parts of the alimentary canal, their structures and functions. Secondly, how the waste products are excreted out from the body, that has been dealt under the system, excretory system. And in the excretory system, the main excretory system, the main organ is Malpighian tubules. Similarly, we have seen the third important system, reproductive system, where we have seen the different structures which are found in the male as well as the female reproductive system, and the details of both the systems, whether it is a male or a female reproductive system, we have seen through the well depicted diagrams.